Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, the 15th of March. Yesterday was photo day here at school. We were very pleased with a bit of fine weather. Kids got outside. We've managed to take some photos out on the field, which was a really great surprise for all of us. And we look forward to those photos coming back in the fullness of time. Now, I've got a whole series of fairly small reminders, and then I want to have a bit of a talk about our parent-teacher events that are coming up in the last couple of weeks of term. So, our checklist would be this evening is the P&C AGM. The Zoom link has been distributed. It can be found on our school website via the calendar. So please come along and join in part of that process and meet some parents in that same space. And following the AGM will be the general March meeting. The other thing that's going on at the moment is due to the flooding in some of the other regions of New South Wales, the department is having a look around to see what spare accommodation is available. And it is possible, and we have actually been given notice that this is on the cards, that all demountable classrooms in Northern Sydney will be collected and taken out to service schools that don't have appropriate permanent classrooms because of flood damage. So we haven't been given a date those classrooms will go, but it is a fairly high possibility that they'll be collected because they're currently unused and surplus to our normal requirements, although we do enjoy having them as a spare space. So I'll keep you all in the loop. The other things that are going on here at school at the moment that we need to be aware of is this week the students in years 4 and 6 will be doing the check-in assessment. So that's a short computer-based assessment, and students go on. It's based on numeracy and reading. They do an online assessment, and the data for that gets updated almost immediately into a back package so that teachers can analyse that to inform their practice. So really, really valuable. And because we get the data so quickly, that helps us with our decision making and guiding the students straight away. We are expecting in semester 2 that the 3s and 5s will go through that same process, and there's an equivalent sort of system for the high school students as well. One reminder I have for anyone who has kids on the school bus is the drivers, of course, will let anybody on the bus. But the bus service is provided by Service New South Wales, and the way they determine how many buses to send to each particular school, or in fact, how to define the routes, are based on Opal card transactions. So if on our bus 30 students get on, but only one uses an Opal card, the government will only see that one kid is on the bus. And that is how it is possible in the future that buses could be given or removed from school services. So if your child doesn't have an Opal card, if you could work through that, that'd be fantastic. And of course, to make sure they've got it here and they can actually tap on would help us enormously. Now, probably the big thing that's coming up in the next couple of weeks is parent-teacher interviews. And traditionally, they'd run over a number of nights for each particular teacher, and all the parents would book in, and that would really occupy about 2 weeks of teachers' time. We're going to try a different way this year. So whilst the parent-teacher interviews will continue over 5 nights here at school, each teacher will only be involved for one of those days. So for instance, let's pretend I'm teaching year 1, so class 1H. My interviews might start on Monday from 11:25 and go through to the last interview being at 5:45. So all my parents would book in on that single day, and the next night perhaps year 2 would be on the cards and everybody would book in. We have the opportunity to either have face-to-face interviews, or if it's a bit hard to get up to school, no problems with a Zoom interview as well. So the teachers will go backwards and forwards between the two of those. We have all of that pretty much planned, and we're expecting later on this week that will send notification out that the interviews have opened up. And that's a really great opportunity to have a conversation with your classroom teacher about academic performance, how everyone's settling into the start of the year, etc. And really a good start to understanding the academic direction for 2022. Now, there's a whole range of other things that are happening at school as well over the next fortnight. Harmony Days on the list there, etc. But I trust everybody will have a look through the newsletter and have a look on the school calendar. And certainly that calendar is well and truly up to date. So I'd encourage everybody to make reference to that. The easiest way is via our school website. There's a little tab up the top that says calendar. If you click on there, you can go through and see the public calendar, and it should have all of the links and the information that you require. So other than that, we're looking forward to a week ahead with kids outside, hopefully less rain, and everything peaceful here at Thornley West.